Welcome to Awesome Academy. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video. This video is about beginner's Python cheat sheet for lists. What are lists? A list stores a series of items in a particular order. Lists allow you to store set of information in one place, whether you have just a few items or a million of items. Lists are one of Python's most powerful features, readily accessible to new programmers, and they tie together many important concepts in programming. So, first, we are going to learn how to define a list. To define a list, we can use a square brackets and use commas to separate individual items in the list. Use plural names for list to make your code easier to read. So over here, I'm going to add, let's see an example of making a list. This will be a list of users. And we have square brackets. And we are going to use a comma to separate individual item in the list. So this will be a list of strings. And I will have names such as Tom, Bob, Peter, Mike. And now we will learn about accessing elements of the list. Individual elements in a list are accessed according to their position, called the index. The index of the first element is 0. So this one, Tom, is at index 0. The index of the second element is 1. And for the Bob, the index is 1. And so forth. Negative indices refer to item at the end of the list. To get a particular element, write the name of the list and then the index of the element in square brackets. So we will see the example of getting the first element from our list. So this will be our first element, and we can get this by the name of the list and the index location. The index is 0. And now we are going to get the second element. Second element will be users at index 1. To get the last element, we are going to use a -1. Last element will be users and index will be -1. We can print out these values. F string, and this will be first element, and here we are going to print first element and then space, then it will be second element, this will be second in curly braces, second element, and now the last element. This will be lost element. I will remove this underscore from here. So the lost element, and make this lowercase. And in curly braces, the variable lost element. And we can just save our program, and it's already saved, I think so. And run our code and check that. And after running our code, we can see over here first element Tom, second element Bob, last element Mike. I will just clear the terminal and go back to our code. Now we are going to learn about modifying individual item of the list. Once you have defined a list, you can change individual elements in the list. You can do this by referring to the index of the item you want to modify. So for example, of changing an element, we are going to change the first element. Users at 0 is set to rock, and users at -2 set to John. And we can print the whole list now. So it will be users and run our script again. And now we can see our element were replaced in the list, the rock and John. The previous value are replaced by these names. Now we are going to talk about adding elements to our list. You can add elements to the end of a list, or you can insert them wherever you like in a list. Let's see how to add an element to the end of the list. We can use a pen method. So I will add here users dot append bill, and we can run our program again and check if it's added to the end of our list. And when we run our program, we can see the bill is added to the end of our list. Now let's start with an empty list. So I'm going to create another list, users2. This is our empty list, and users2 append gifts and user2 dot append Mike, and one more, users2 dot append Robert. And now we can run our program. Before I run, I will change this print statement for users to user2. So we are going to print the new list. And we have these three names in our new list. I will just clear the terminal and go back to our code. We can also insert elements at a particular position. We can use insert method. So this one over here in our users tool list, I will use insert method and the index location where we want to insert the new value. And I will add Joe and run our code. And we can see the Joe is added at index 0, the first element of our list. Now we will learn about removing elements. You can remove elements by their position in a list or by the value of the item. If you remove an item by its value, Python removes only the first item that has that value. So let's see how to delete an item by its position. So I'm going to delete using delete users 2 and -1, and we are going to print it. And we can see the last item is removed from our list. We can also remove an item by its value. So from our second list, users tool list, I will remove mic. So over here, I'm going to use method remove of our list, user2 dot remove, and I'm going to pass in a mic and run our program. And we can see the mic is removed from our list. Now we are going to learn about popping elements. If you want to work with an element that you are removing from the list, you can pop the element. If you think of the list as a stack of items, pop method takes an item off the top of the stack. By default, pop returns the last element in the list, but you can also pop elements from any position in the list. So let's see how to pop the last item from a list. So I will use it. We have only 2 items left. So this will be recent user set to users 2.pop method, and then we are going to print the recent user. Now run. So that element is pop, and its value is kids. And now we have this one left, only one element in our list, Joe. List length. The length function, len, returns the number of items in a list. So let's see how to find the length of a list. We have only one element in our list now, in our second list. So over here, I will have a size variable and use length function with our list users too. And I'm going to print with the f string list size, and in curly braces the size and run the program. And we can see the list size is 1. And now we will learn about sorting a list. The sort method changes the order of a list permanently. The sorted function returns a copy of the list, leaving the original list unchanged. You can sort the items in a list in alphabetical order or reverse alphabetical order. You can also reverse the original order of the list. Keep in mind that lowercase and uppercase letters may affect the sort order. So, how to sort a list permanently? We can use a user's choose a sort method. So this will be over here. Yeah, users to dot sort. Before I sort it, I have only one element left in the list, so I'm going to add one more. So I will add. You can add before sort. So this will be users to dot append Tony. So now we have two names. Add one more. Rick. Okay. So now we are going to run it again and check the sorting. And here is our sorted list. Now we will see how to sort a list permanently in reverse alphabetical order. So what I'm going to do here after this sort, I will do users to sort, and we are going to sort in a reverse order by using reverse value set to true. So this will be reverse is set to true. And now we have the list sorted in a reverse order. And if you don't want to modify a list permanently, you can sort a list temporarily using sorted method. So over here, I'm going to print sorted users to, and print sorted users to, and reverse set to true. This is uppercase. And here is in original order, and this in a reverse order. I have removed the extra print list statement. We don't need it, that one. Now we are going to learn about looping through a list. Lists can contain millions of items, so Python provides an efficient way to loop through all the items in a list. When you set up a loop, Python pulls each item from the list one at a time and store it in a temporary variable, which you provide a name for. This name should be the singular version of the list name. The indented block of code makes up the body of the loop where you can work with each individual item. Any lines that are not indented run after the loop is completed. So let's see how to print all the items in a list. I will just comment these lines. We don't need printer of this over here. I will add a pound sign. And now we are going to use a for loop for users 2 for user in users 2. We are going to print each user and user. That's it. And the items of our list are printed over here. Now we are going to learn about the range function. We can use the range function to work with a set of numbers efficiently. The range function starts at 0 by default and stops one number below the number passed to it. You can use the list function to efficiently generate a large list of numbers. Let's see how to print the numbers 0 to 1000. I will comment this also. Just don't need extra printout. For number in range up to 1001, print number. Number printed up to 1000. If you scroll up, you can see the more numbers. Just clear our terminal. And I will comment this code too. And if you want to print the numbers from a 1 to 1000, we can start with 1. So we're here for number in range 1 and 1001. And we are just going to print number. So this will print from 1 to 1000. I'm not going to print those again. I will just comment it. And you can also make a list of numbers from 1 to 1,000,000. You can use this way. Big num. This will be list and range from 1 to 1. So here we have a list of numbers from 1 to 1,000,000. I will comment this line also. Now we are going to learn about simple statistic on list. There are a number of simple statistic you can run on a list containing numerical data. So if we have some numbers list, so this would be our numbers list. 150, 40, 300, 700, 180, 5, 2, and 500. Just some random numbers. And we are going to find the mean value, the minimum value from our list. We can use a main function and pass in our numbers, and then I'm going to print the minimum value, main value, and the minimum value in our list is 2. I will also comment all other print statement that I can find in our program so we don't get confused what's going on. And over here, and we also have one over here. This one too. I think so. All the extra print statement are removed. I will comment out. I will remove this one too, or add a comment. We can also find a max value from our list by using a max function. So this will be print. Before print, I will find a max value by using a max function and passing in our list. So the max value. Run our program again. The max value is 700 in our list. And we are going to comment this line too. We can also find some of all values in our list. So over here by using a sum function. So this will be our total by using sum and passing numbers. And then we are going to print our total. Print total. This is the total of our list. Now we are going to learn about slicing a list. You can work with any set of elements from a list. A portion of a list is called a slice. To slice a list, start with the index of the first item you want, then add a column and the index after the last item you want. Leave off the first index to start at the beginning of the list, and leave off the last index to slice through the end of the list. So for example, getting the first 3 items from our list. First, I'm going to comment this too. Mouse cursor. create another list. And we will get the first 3 items. Countries list. This will be China, USA, India, Japan, Pakistan, Norway. Now we have a list of countries and get the first 3. First 3 are countries and then colon and 3. Let's print out first 3. And here is a list of our first 3 countries. And now just comment this line also. Now I'm going to get the middle 3 items. This made 3 by using this syntax of the list. This will be countries and 1:4 and it's missing here. And then I'm going to print this made 3. And we also can get the last 3 items by using last 3 set to countries. This will be -3 and then colon. And then I'm going to print last 3. And here are our list first. The middle 3 items and the last 3 items. Now we are going to learn about copying list. Before that, I will comment these two lines. And to copy a list, make a slice that starts at the first item, ends at the last item. If you try to copy a list without using the approach, this approach or whatever you do to the copy list will affect the original list as well. So making a copy of a list, here we are going to use I will use the same countries list and get the copy of it. We can get copy of countries by using countries and a colon between square bracket. You can print it out. Print copy, print copy of of countries, and we get the copy of that list. Now I'm going to comment this too. Now we are going to learn about list comprehensions. You can use a loop to generate a list based on a range of numbers or another list. This is a common operation. So Python offers a more efficient way to do it. List comprehension may look complicated at first. If so, use for loop approach until you're ready to start using comprehension. To write a comprehension, define an expression for the values you want to store in the list. Then write a for loop to generate input values needed to make the list. Using a loop to generate a list of square numbers. Let's try this one. We have a list of squares, which is empty at first, and we are going to use for loop for x in range from 1 to 20. Square is set to x, to asterisk sign in 2, and square dot append, this is squares, we are appending to our list, square, and then you can print out the squares. So when we are done, we are going to print our list. I will make this up to 21, so we get the range from 1 to 20. So change this one over here. So in this video, you learn how to build and modify a list, access element from a list, and loop through the values in a list. We also cover list comprehensions. Please subscribe to my channel, Awesome Academy, and like my video and share, and thank you.